becoming a Porsche owner, or what brought me to the Porsche brand. Growing up as a kid, I think most kids have their fantasy cars, some like Corvettes, Mustangs, Lambos, Ferraris. I've always loved Mustangs and Porsches. Porsche is something I never thought I could obtain at a young age, of course, because Porsche was just way up there, way up there. But I had my poster, I had my Hot Wheel tracks, ride around in my Porsche. But always in the back of my mind, I always knew that, hey, someday I'm going to get me a Porsche 911. Don't know when, don't know how, but I know before I get to that age where I can no longer walk, I'm going to get myself a Porsche. So in 2018, I was looking at Mustangs. I don't know, it was something about the Mustang, or actually the Shelby GT 350 that drew my attention. I had a dream. Woke up and said, I think I'll get me a Shelby GT 350. Did some research and found that car. But in the back of my mind, I still had that dream of owning a Porsche. Almost immediately after I got that GT 350, Shelby GT 350, I started looking for Porsche 911s. Started off looking at 996s, 0.1 and 0.2s, but I wasn't a big fan of the front lights of the 996 cars. And then also it had that IMS bearing that, scares you away, and I didn't want that issue as well. So I started looking at some 997.1s, and had a couple on my radar. Most of them were out of state. Had a couple of dealers want to play games with me, not want to come down to the number that I wanted to purchase the car at. Some of them couldn't guarantee whether or not the IMS bearing had been replaced or repaired. So, I stepped back for a little bit, continued to enjoy my Shelby GT3 for like another year. In 2020, when COVID hit, the itch came back again. I started looking for 911s again. I started looking for them. Started doing some searching, hit some of the different sites, CarMax, Car Gurus, some of the different sites, your normal sites when you do your internet searches. I was kind of scared. I stayed away from the 997.1 because of the IMS issues, the bore scoring, and some other things. And then, lo and behold, up popped this 991.1 2014 Carrera S 6-speed manual transmission. And went up there and took a look at it. Liked the car, loved the way it drives, loved the way the flat six sounds. So I did a traded in my Shelby GT 350 and had nothing but miles and smiles in my 2014 Carrera S. Got a tune on the car, Songtronic tune, did the DCS, passive suspension on it, got me soul performance, exhaust, but it was missing some things that I wanted that I should have looked at when I first got into the car market. I should have got a sports chrono. So was I disappointed I didn't have that? Yes and no, because when you get a car, you want to get or go as high as you can get when you get that car. But overall, the car was amazing. I mean, I would have loved to have had a 6-speed manual, but 7-speed did its job, did it well, and I enjoyed the car. So around 2023, 2024, did some searching, had a 2014 GT3 popped up. As soon as I saw that, my eyes lit up, saw it for a good price. Of course, my biggest concern was that engine been replaced. And once I found out that engine had been replaced with a G6, I was like, I have to check this car out. So I went up to I got this car. I've done some modifications to it. I talked about that in previous videos. Updated the PDK shifter to a GT4 type shifter. No, I'm not trying to copy off a manual, but it is a good looking shifter. It looks much better than the standard PDK shifter. So no issues there. Got me a Sawtronic tune as well. And some other things I did to the car. You know, obviously had the windows tinted. Thinking about getting the